This podcast is for general information only. It is not intended as a substitute for general healthcare services. If you have medical conditions, you need to see your doctor. Use of this information is at the user's own risk. Welcome to FitRx with Dr. Greg Dennis. Join me as we challenge the standard sick model of healthcare. This is your source for everything health, wellness, prevention, fitness, biohacking, and more.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of FitRx. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Dennis. It's been a little while since I've released an episode, and I apologize for that. Life just gets busy sometimes, but I'm still here, still around, and still going on the podcast. So I wanted to take this time to introduce my new products page that's on my website at fitrxwellnessok.com. For those of you that come into my clinic, you're able to ask me these questions about supplements, and we even sell a lot of these supplements out of the clinic, but probably the majority of my listeners are not my patients because they're not local. And so I wanted to give them information and also access to a lot of the supplements and other just kind of anti-aging things that I recommend. And so thought I'd spend this episode just kind of going through this product page and talk briefly about each one. And again, I'll mention it again later, but I have links to each one of these on my website. So with that being said, let's just get started. I have an anti-aging product called Spermidine, basically. The brand that I have on there is Primeadine, but Spermidine, probably heard about it, maybe you haven't. It mimics many of the benefits of fasting. It can help to enhance sleep. It can regulate circadian rhythm as well as boost energy levels. It's also good for skin. If you want to learn more about that, I did a whole podcast episode on Spermidine. I think that's the title of it. So go back and listen to that. But I listed it on here because at the time of that recording, which has been a year or two ago, I was impressed with the potential benefits of that. And since then, I've had a lot of people take Spermidine and have also been really impressed with the results. So I listed that on there. The one I recommend is a good quality Spermidine product. And so there is a link on there. So I also have listed on there the Whoop strap. You've heard me talk about the Whoop strap before. I've had a Whoop strap for many, many years, and this is a strap. It's not a watch, but it's a strap that goes on your wrist that monitors your activity level. It's very accurate in monitoring your sleep quality. So it breaks down, your deep sleep, your REM sleep, your total sleep. It also records your body temperature, your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, which is very important. And so it takes all that into account and gives you a score, in the morning. And so it tells you if you're in the red, which is bad, the yellow, just kind of in the middle, or in the green, which means everything is optimal. I always like that because you can kind of quantify what you're doing. So if you start taking a new supplement at night, you can see what it's doing to your sleep and how your overall heart rate variability is doing by changing things up. And so it really gives you some good data. And again, a lot of these things are some just anti-aging strategies that, in my opinion, are kind of icing on the cake. I remind people all the time that you got to do the foundational stuff. You got to eat clean, you got to exercise, you got to get good sleep. But I know many people that listen really want to optimize their health, and so that's what a lot of these things are, that are on my website, and things like the Whoop strap, things like Spermidine can do. I also have a link to my ButcherBox account, and so haven't talked a lot about that on here, but I've mentioned it a couple of times. Obviously, I preach protein, prioritizing protein. You need good quality protein, and that's what I like about ButcherBox. I have a box and was real impressed with the food quality, the meat quality. So you can get, this is grass-fed, free-range beef, free-range chicken, wild-caught seafood. So it's a monthly prescription that's just mailed to your house, and you can kind of pick and choose what you want. If you want pork, more beef, more fish, things like that. So if you're interested in ButcherBox, then again, I've got a link on my products page. So next I have supplements. That's where I'm going to spend the majority of the time. Obviously, gosh, I get asked this question a lot of what supplements should I take? And that's always a difficult question because we need to know kind of what our goals are. So I'm always a fan of what I call targeted supplementation, which means you should have a good reason for everything you're taking and be able to explain why you're taking these supplements, because there's 50 or 100 supplements out there that I could say, oh yeah, I mean, those are pretty good. I mean, potential health benefits with that. But we also have to be practical, and because most people aren't going to take 50 supplements, nor would I recommend it. So I have listed some of my favorites, and I'll kind of give a brief explanation on each one of those. And again, I have a link to these. Most of these are from Thorne. I sell these out of my clinic. I'm a big fan of Thorne products. Again, you probably heard me talk about it before. Thorne products are third-party tested from Yale, I believe. The Olympic Committee uses Thorne for their athletes. And so I've used Thorne for years and years and years and have always had good luck with them. So that being said, first one that I have listed is the Thorne 2-A-Day multivitamin. So I don't know how much I've talked about multivitamins in the past, but over the years, I've kind of gone back and forth on multivitamins. So I used to always recommend a multivitamin, and then I didn't, and said, well, if you're getting good quality nutrition, you probably don't need a multivitamin. And then I came back around and said, well, yeah, you probably do need a multivitamin. And that's still where I'm at now. I believe we need a good multivitamin. Most people are not eating well, and so if you're not, you for sure need a multivitamin. But even those that are eating good, the nutrition that we get from foods today is just void of a lot of the micronutrients that it was once in there. And so even if we're trying to do really good, I feel like we're going to be missing a lot of the subtle micronutrients and the minerals. And so that's why I recommend a good multivitamin. And so not all multivitamins are created equal, as I'm sure you probably know that. But if you get a Centrum Silver or whatever, from Walmart, it's not going to be the same quality as something from Thorne. So what I like about the Thorne 2-A-Day is, as I mentioned, Thorne is very good quality, but it has everything in it that you need as far as the micronutrients. It also has the methylated forms of the vitamins, like the methylated folate and the methylated B12 vitamins that you need. Most, especially of the cheaper vitamins, are not going to have the methylated form. And it's a very reasonably priced multivitamin, and so that's the one I take personally. That's the one that I recommend. There are fancier multivitamins, even on the Thorne website. I've taken those as well. I really feel like for most people, unless you're an extreme athlete or something, the Thorne 2-A-Day is adequate for both men and women. Next supplement is the Basic B Complex, and vitamin B is, kind of foundational, that just kind of supports optimal neurological function and cellular energy. Just helps maintain overall vitality and well-being. B vitamins are water-soluble vitamins, so which means you can't really get too much of this. So what your body doesn't use, you're just going to pee out. So especially if you have any kind of neurological conditions or just low energy, taking a basic B complex, which is what I have on here, is a good thing. Next one I have listed is zinc biglycinate. And the reason I put that on here now, I'm in Oklahoma, and the flu, I think for the last couple of weeks, we were number one in flu cases in the whole United States. So we're right in the middle of sick season. So anything you can do to help boost your immune system is a good thing. And zinc can help boost the immune system. Zinc is also important with promoting healthy connective tissue and can also help support reproductive health, and even in men, and women for that matter, help in the production of sex hormones like testosterone. So I don't take zinc year round, but I'm currently on zinc, again, to just kind of help boost my immune system during this sick season. I take it at night along with my magnesium glycinate, so I'm currently taking that now. Next one is berberine. Berberine has multiple health benefits. It can help maintain healthy blood sugar levels, so this is always one that I recommend for those fighting with blood sugar insulin resistance, especially if they can't tolerate metformin or just don't want to be on a prescription medication. Then berberine is a good substitute for this. And even those that aren't dealing with insulin resistance, it's just good for helping maintain kind of good metabolic health. Berberine, and for that reason, berberine has also been shown to help a little bit with weight loss. So a lot of benefits to berberine, and that's why I have that listed on here. Next is the magnesium citramate. Now, probably heard me talk about magnesium before. Most people are magnesium deficient. This is a difficult one to check because the majority of the magnesium lives inside the cell. And so, I don't feel like the blood tests are very accurate on this, but most people are magnesium deficient. So my favorite magnesium is probably magnesium glycinate. That's what I take personally, which I also have listed below under the sleep section. Magnesium glycinate helps with sleep. It's a very highly absorbable type of magnesium. But I also have the magnesium citramate because it can be taken during the day, help with energy. And again, if you are in fact low in magnesium, or you work out a lot like me, or in the sauna, you sweat a lot, you probably need a lot of magnesium. And so it's not a bad idea to take the Thorne magnesium citramate in the morning, as well as the Thorne or another type of magnesium glycinate at night. So next I have the MethylGuard. So MethylGuard is a supplement to support methylation, which is just a crucial process for overall health. Is essential for maintaining just healthy heart, blood vessel, brain, bone function. This supplement just is one of the better kind of methylation products out there. So anyone looking to just optimize their health at a cellular level, this is one of those that I wouldn't say is a foundational supplement, but like a multivitamin or something, but if you need methylation support, and there are just different conditions that we need that in, I'm not going to get into that today, that the MethylGuard is a great product. Next, I have NAC, NAC, or N-acetylcysteine. This is a very potent antioxidant that just supports overall wellness. It promotes good kind of liver health, as well as enhancing the immune function. It also increases glutathione levels, which glutathione aids in detoxification and combats oxidative stress. So I currently take NAC with my nighttime supplementation. So I take it along with glycine, which I'll get into in a minute. But I just think NAC has enough benefits that it should be included in your stack. And again, I take that personally. Those are all the ones I have listed for just general overall wellness for different reasons. And then I kind of have it broken up into the next section is just mental health. So one I like for that is the 5-HTP. So this naturally supports the production of serotonin. So serotonin is a neurotransmitter that helps with mood and helps promote restful sleep, manage stress, as well as sugar cravings. So for those struggling with so all of our antidepressants that we use, I mean, that's the neurotransmitter they affect is serotonin. But those prescription medications also have side effects, such as weight gain, sexual side effects, etc. So for those that are dealing with a lot of stress, or they have maybe a little bit of depression, anxiety, those kinds of things, and want a more natural option, the 5-HTP is a good supplement for that and a good start, and that's why I have it listed on here. I also list my pre-workout regimen on here, and I don't know that I've talked about that on here in the past, but I have been doing this particular pre-workout regimen for probably a decade. Years ago when I used to do CrossFit, I started this and loved it, and I still do it to this day. And so a lot of the pre-workout stuff just has a bunch of crap in it. So I didn't want the caffeine in it because I drink my caffeine through coffee. And so, and I used to work out, later in the day, which I don't now. But also those pre-workouts just have a lot of fillers and a lot of just junk in them. And so I wanted just a cleaner pre-workout. Couldn't find one. And so I started doing this. So I started getting 3 separate things, all from Thorne. They last a while. And so one of those is the amino complex. So I like to work out fasting in the morning. And so other than this pre-workout regimen, and so with me being fasting, I don't want to tear down muscle, and so I need some amino acids. And so the essential amino acids has everything you need in it to just promote the growth of lean muscle, enhance muscle strength, support recovery, especially if you're like me and do your workouts fasting. So I do a scoop of that. I do a scoop of something called Catalyte, which is just an electrolyte formula. And then I do creatine. Now, I used to do the creatine in the pre-workout, so I would have all 3 of those. Now I do creatine post-workout. So my current pre-workout is the amino complex, the Catalyte, and then usually I'll do a tablespoon of MCT oil, which is a quick-acting fatty acid that is just, you can utilize it for energy very quickly, and it works great for me. And then I have my post-workout shake, which has the creatine in it. So I'm going to talk about creatine for a second. So creatine is probably the most studied supplement out there, and it's been around for a long, long time. To my knowledge, I don't think they've ever found any negative effects to creatine, only positive. And just recently, even in the last 6 months, I keep hearing more and more people and experts pushing creatine, specifically even for women. For whatever reason, when it comes to creatine, mostly men take it, for workouts, because kind of holds water in the muscle, makes you look bigger, and so it's always been a guy thing. But most of what I've been hearing lately are, the benefits that women can gain from it. And so I don't remember the doctor, but one of them in particular was talking about any woman who works out needs to be on creatine. So, it can enhance your muscle performance and strength, support cellular energy. It can improve cognitive function. Creatine really has a lot of benefits, and I've used Thorne creatine. It's a very clean, pure creatine monohydrate that I've used, again, for probably a decade. So I actually started selling this at my office here just recently, but also wanted to put it online for those that can't get in. Highly recommend creatine. To put maybe in your post-workout shake. So if you're not on creatine, either if you're a man or a woman, get started on that. Also in my pre-workout, I forgot about the beta-alanine sustained release. So this is a pill you take that increases carnosine levels. Carnosine acts as a buffer, neutralizing acid and delaying muscle fatigue. So this improves endurance and performance. I had quit taking this for a while because I don't do CrossFit anymore. But back when I was doing CrossFit and doing really high intensity training, I definitely noticed a difference when I took the beta alanine. I recently started taking it again because I am going to be running a half marathon in the spring. Haven't done that in a long, long time, and so I started taking it before my long runs, just again to help with that. So I include that especially again on any intense workouts with my pre-workout. So my pre-workout again is the amino complex, the Catalyte, MCT oil, and then the pills of the beta alanine, and then the creatine as a post-workout. Next on my list, I have an anti-inflammatory, and that's going to be the curcumin phytosome. The thorn curcumin is one of the most studied on the market, so I'm sure you've heard of curcumin, but it is a very potent anti-inflammatory, helps maintain joint, muscle, GI, liver, brain, nerve health. So definitely as an anti-inflammatory for pain, it's really good. Curcumin is also on a lot of the protocols for cancer now. So definitely a lot of benefits with curcumin. As far as hormonal health, what I have on here is the Thorne Hormone Advantage. This is basically DIM, D-I-M, diindolylmethane. DIM supports healthy estrogen metabolism. So I've always mentioned to people that estrogen in the body can go one of kind of three pathways, and DIM helps to promote it go down the healthy pathway. It can also help convert your total testosterone into free testosterone. And so DIM is a good supplement to have for those men and women who are on hormone replacement therapy. I sell that out of my office. We do a lot of hormone pellets, and a lot of people are on DIM. Next, I have sleep or detox. I already talked about the magnesium glycinate, which Thorne's is a powder form. It's kind of tart, but that's, I don't know why that's all they have is the powder, and that's the link that I have. But even if you find it in pills somewhere, highly recommend you take the magnesium glycinate. So another one I have on here is glycine. This is one I have personally been on now for at least a couple of years. So glycine is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that supports relaxation, healthy stress management, so it can help promote restful sleep. It also enhances detoxification by boosting the glutathione production, which is an antioxidant. And so for that reason, a lot of people combine the glycine with the NAC. I mentioned earlier that the NAC also increases glutathione production. They even have some supplements that in one pill that combine the two. Thorne doesn't carry this, but there's some other manufacturers that carry that. I think they call it Glycinac or something. I just take them separately. But the bottle of glycine is a large bottle, and so it lasts a long time. And I usually take 3 to 5 grams a night, which is the pills are 1 gram a piece. So I take 3 to 5 pills at night, along with my magnesium glycinate, which has a little bit in it as well, along with the NAC. So that's kind of been my sleep supplementation for a while now, and I really like that. I haven't really talked about that on here, but it's one that, well, I recommend. Again, I take it myself, and I'm not a huge supplement guy. I mean, I probably sound like it as I'm taking a lot of this stuff, but over the years I have researched this, and so these are just kind of where I've leaned towards, and I've done a lot of experimentation over the years as well, and I've been on this current regimen for a while, and so glycine is one, along with the mag glycinate, and again the NAC. I mean, those are ones that I really recommend. So lastly, I have thyroid health. The only one I have on there. There's other thyroid supplements you can get. Even at Thorne, you can get some thyroid supplements. So, but the one I have is selenium, and the reason is selenium is very important for thyroid health. Anybody who is on a thyroid medicine, which that's a lot of people out there, or has any thyroid problems, they need to be on selenium. 200 micrograms is what's recommended. I will say if you are taking the Thorne 2-A-Day, I'm pretty sure it has the 200 micrograms of selenium in there, so you would not need an extra selenium. But if you're not taking a multivitamin that has that in there, you have thyroid issues, you need to be on selenium, and it's very cheap. Anyway, so I have it listed on here. So that is all of them that I have listed. So I just wanted to kind of give a general run through of everything kind of I'm using and that I recommend and that's now available on my product page on my website. So again, you can find that fitrxwellnessok.com, and then just go to the side, click on products, and it will have each one will have a link that will take you to that page where you can order those. With Thorne, you can get a few things from Thorne off of Amazon, but for the most part, you have to have a physician code, and so that's what I've included in there, and to where it'll just take you directly to site to where you can order that. So anyway, so that's my products page. All right, so if you've been paying attention and you're astute, you're going to realize that I did not mention one supplement. And ironically, it is my most recommended supplement. So I'm going to pause and let you think about that for a second and maybe say out loud what it is. If you said vitamin D, you're right. So I did not mention vitamin D anywhere on here, even though, again, it is my top recommended supplement. And the reason is several-fold. Number one, Thorne does not sell vitamin D anymore, at least in the doses that I recommend. Number two, what we carry in our clinic is from Common Sense Supplements, and I like that. It's called ADK, and it has the vitamin K2 along with the obviously vitamin A, and then the vitamin D doses that I recommend, which is usually either 5,000 or 10,000 IUs. And then the third reason I don't have a link to it, the Common Sense, unfortunately, they only sell to physicians and sell to clinics, so I just can't make a link to that company. But the last reason that I did not mention the vitamin D is I don't know what dose to recommend, because you need to get your vitamin D level checked. People ask me all the time, how much vitamin D should I take? And I say, I don't know. What's your vitamin D level? I mean, with my patients, of course, that's something I check regularly, and I can recommend, if they're low, 10,000, but you certainly you have to be careful taking that high of a dose if you're not low. And so the bottom line is get your vitamin D level checked. If you're low or even certainly low normal or not optimal, you want to be at the higher ranges of normal to be optimal, but pick a vitamin D that has a substantial amount of vitamin D, number one, but then also has the vitamin K2 in it. So anyway, that's the reason I did not mention vitamin D, but I wanted to throw that in there because vitamin D is probably the most important. So as a quick summary, kind of as far as supplements go, some of my top supplements are going to be vitamin D, as I just mentioned, followed closely by magnesium, probably specifically magnesium glycinate, and then a good multivitamin like the Thorne 2-A-Day that I talked about. If you work out, which you should, if you're trying to optimize your health, I would throw creatine in there. I think everybody needs to be on a creatine. Also, especially if you work out fasting, as I talked about, I would include that essential amino acid and the electrolyte formula Catalyte. Kind of, those are the basics, kind of foundational stuff. Next tier, I'd probably go with the glycine along with NAC to take it at night. I've been a big fan of that for not only sleep support, but glutathione support, which helps with, antioxidation. So lots of other good supplements out there, but those are kind of the essentials in my mind and a lot of what I am taking personally. And as we wrap up, I'm going to give my health tip. As you know, I always ask my guests to give us one health tip that could make us healthier today. But since I'm the one talking, I'll give the health tip. Trying to think of something different because, you always hear, well, get more sleep, get more exercise, get more sunshine, and you guys know all that stuff. So I'm going to say get a crock pot. And I know that sounds weird, but as the last year, a single guy, who never really had to worry about cooking much, and I wanted to continue to eat healthy, I started using a crock pot, and it's really been a game changer for me. I'm sure all you moms already know this, and you're rolling your eyes out there being like, duh, I've been using that a long time. But for me, it's new. So crock pot's a game changer for me because I can just throw meat, vegetables, whatever, put everything in it, and it's done when I get home. Because one of the things I think a lot of people do when you don't have food available is you come home, you're hungry, you're tired, and you start snacking on things that you shouldn't be snacking on. And so you have something ready. Now you have to do a little preparation and have it in there before, but if you have something like that ready when you get home, then it keeps me honest and accountable, and I can eat some good healthy meals, for me and my kids. And so anyway, it's been good for me. You guys probably already know that, but if you don't cook with a crock pot much, I would recommend it. And you can check out my friends at crockstar.com if you want a little help. So they sell packets, seasonings and stuff where all you have to do is add the meat, and they tell you exactly what other ingredients you may need in it. And you add their packet. You can get a subscription to different things and change it up every month. And so anyway, check out crockstar.com. They're friends of mine, and so it's a good thing. But all right, well, appreciate everyone listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Thank you for listening to FitRx. I invite you to share this with friends and family. If you would like to contact me, you can visit our website at fitrxwellnessok.com, or you can email me at drgreg@fitrxwellnessok.com.